At some point in life, almost everyone has asked the same question: can I actually improve my memory? Or is memory simply a fixed trait, something you are born with and cannot meaningfully change? To answer that, we must first understand what memory truly is. Memory is not a single system. It is a collection of processes involving encoding, storage, and retrieval.
Welcome to SciCuriousID, where curiosity meets science.
When you encounter new information, your brain encodes it. If that information is stabilized, it becomes stored. And when needed, it is retrieved. These processes rely heavily on the hippocampus and distributed cortical networks. In the 20th century, neuroscientist Kandel demonstrated that memory formation is linked to physical changes in synapses, the connections between neurons. When neurons repeatedly fire together, their connections strengthen, a process known as long-term potentiation. This principle reveals something crucial: memory is biological, but it is also plastic. Neuroplasticity means the brain can reorganize itself structurally and functionally in response to experience. That alone suggests memory is not fixed. But plasticity does not mean unlimited expansion. Working memory, the system responsible for holding information temporarily, was extensively studied by psychologist Alan Baddeley. Research suggests that working memory capacity has limits. You cannot infinitely increase the number of items you can hold at once. However, you can improve how efficiently you use that capacity. This distinction is critical. Improving memory capacity and improving memory performance are not the same thing. Let us examine what science actually supports. First, spaced repetition. Instead of cramming information in a single session, distributing study over time significantly improves long-term retention. Research by cognitive psychologist Henry Roediger III demonstrates that retrieval practice, actively recalling information, strengthens memory traces far more effectively than passive rereading. The mechanism is elegant. Each act of retrieval reinforces neural pathways, making future recall easier. In other words, remembering strengthens remembering. Second, sleep. Memory consolidation occurs during sleep, particularly slow-wave and REM stages. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that sleep helps stabilize and reorganize memories, transferring them from temporary hippocampal storage into longer-term cortical networks. Without adequate sleep, encoding and consolidation suffer dramatically. Third, physical exercise. Aerobic activity has been shown to increase blood flow to the brain and stimulate the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a molecule that supports neuronal growth. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences demonstrated that regular exercise can even increase hippocampal volume in adults. Fourth, attention and focus. Memory begins with attention. If encoding is weak, storage will be weak. Reducing multitasking and strengthening attentional control improves initial encoding quality. In this sense, improving focus indirectly improves memory. Now we must address a controversial topic: brain training games. Commercial cognitive training programs often claim to expand memory capacity. However, evidence suggests that improvements tend to be task-specific. You may become better at the trained task itself, but the transfer to general memory ability is limited. The brain adapts, but it adapts specifically. So can you truly improve memory? Yes, but with nuance. You can improve memory efficiency. You can enhance encoding strategies. You can strengthen retrieval pathways. You can optimize biological conditions through sleep and exercise. You can reduce interference and improve attention. What you likely cannot do is transform your brain into a photographic memory machine. Memory is not about perfection. It is about reliability and reinforcement. Historically, humans have always sought memory enhancement. Ancient Greek orators developed mnemonic systems such as the method of Loci, placing information within imagined spatial environments. Modern neuroscience now explains why such techniques work. They recruit spatial memory networks in the hippocampus, creating richer associative encoding. The principle has not changed in 2,000 years. Stronger associations create stronger recall. Ultimately, improving memory is less about expanding mental storage and more about understanding how memory naturally functions. When you align your habits with neuroscience, spacing practice, prioritizing sleep, exercising regularly, engaging in retrieval, improvement is not mystical. It is biological. The real question is not whether memory can improve. The real question is whether we are willing to adopt the behaviors that allow it to improve. So now I leave you with this. Have you ever experienced a dramatic improvement in your memory after changing a specific habit, such as sleep, exercise, or study method? Share your experience in the comments below.
Thanks for watching SciCuriousID. Until next time.